Okay, guys, Panzer J back with the Japanese turn here in Operation Live and Let Die. Turn officially 12.3. So the Japanese have limited options here. They're basically down to two pockets of resistance. That's really about it. Maybe a third if you consider up here in Korea. But we've got Java down here. And then we've got Tokyo itself, and that's really about it. So not a whole heck of a lot of options for the Japanese. We have no ships on the board at all. So we'll see what we can do just to kind of hold on at this point as the Japanese. Before we get into the Japanese turn, though, just wanted to comment on Global War 36 Enthusiast's last video for the commentary. If you haven't seen that, I suggest you guys go over to his channel and take a look. Excellent video, as always. He had pointed out when it came to the tech rolls that I had said on Germany's last turn when I rolled 4 of my 5 techs successfully, that was the first turn Germany's gotten 4 more techs. And as he pointed out, I believe it was on turn 2 maybe, Germany was actually 5 of 5. So Global War 36 Enthusiast has shot down my attempt at garnering sympathy from the community here by pointing out that yes, indeed, Germany has had a previous turn of 4 more techs. So I have to concede that point to my worthy opponent. So let's go on to the Japanese right now. They have 2 tech rolls. So we are going to go for improved factories and long-range aircraft. So long-range aircraft currently sits at stage 2, improved factory stage 1, and they both require a 7 or higher. So let's go ahead with long-range aircraft first, and that's cocked. So I'll roll that again. It was close to a 12, but let's just roll it again anyways. We got an 11, so it didn't matter. So we move up a spot with long-range aircraft. And then improved factories a 7 or higher, and we got a 3, so we did not succeed there. So let's go ahead and move up our long-range aircraft 1 spot. So we are 1 stage away from completing that tech as the Japanese. Okay, and then on to purchases. We have $26 to spend, and we're spending the full 26. We have 26 to spend, and we are going to spend 23 of it. So we're going to save $3. Okay, so $11 for a tactical bomber and $2 for a militia. So that's 13. So that would leave us $10 to spend, and then again save the $3. And the 10 we're going to spend is all on these aircraft carriers. So I have improved construction, so that reduces the cost by $1. So this fleet carrier is $4 to complete, and the 2 light carriers are $3 a piece. So that's 3, 6, that is the $10. So that's 23 total. We save $3. So now in the place units box, we have 3 light carriers and 1 fleet carrier. And before I go any further, I just wanted to go over this rule real quick just to specify, because I do not want to place any of those units in the place units box this turn. So when it reaches the place units box on the production chart, is ready to be placed on the map during the place units and collect income phase of that same turn. You may postpone the placement of units in the place units box if desired, and I do desire. So all 4 of those carriers are going to be staying on the production chart, but they are ready for placement at any time. And then one other thing I wanted to point out real quick, and this concerns the blockade rule, and this could be pertinent, especially with the situation the Japanese find themselves in. Okay, a blockade denies supply paths going through naval facilities. Units may still be built at a blockaded shipyard. So even if at some point in the future, near or far, the Japanese find themselves blockaded in the Japanese home waters there, those Japanese shipyards still should be able to produce naval units each turn. So that is playing into the factor to go ahead and delay placing these 4 carriers on the map when I get to that point of this turn. Okay, so that is it for tech and purchases. We are not engaging any combat. Just to point out, I do still have all 6 of my kamikaze attacks remaining, and Fighting Irish has encroached far enough with this fleet here that I would be able to use 2 of them this calendar turn. But I'm going to go ahead and hold on to my kamikaze, so I still have all 6 remaining. And there was no other combat even remotely contemplated for the Japanese. So now we're on to non-combat moves, and we're going to send this 1 infantry in Kyushu up 1 territory to Honshu, so that's right outside of Tokyo. And that is it for non-combat. So on to unit placements. We've got our militia and our tactical bomber. So the militia goes in Tokyo, and so does our tactical. So in Tokyo itself, we've got a militia, a tactical, 2 coastal artillery, 11 infantry, and 4 fighters in Tokyo. And again, we do have the 4 carriers that can be placed at any time from the production chart. So Japan has $16 worth of territories. They're still holding on to 3 bonuses amazingly at this point. So they get the $2 down here for Java, and they still hold on to the Solomon Islands, which is $1. So that's $19 for the Japanese. And then let's go ahead and roll for their wartime economy roll here. And we rolled a 7. So 7 plus 19 is 26. And the Japanese, if you remember, saved $3 from this turn. So that's a total of $29 the Japanese will have to spend here on turn number 13 coming up. Turning things over to Fighting Irish, the UK-France turn. And we'll see you guys back at Italy 12.6.